I learned how to free myself and free my mind through that journey. Not being restricted and confined. You know what I mean, to the standards of the world. Just a soul search that I was on when I was in the penitentiary. Being able to get closer to God. You know what I mean, and have my spirituality increase. You know what I mean, to understand that. Just like the birds don't go to Wawa. You know what I mean?
Right.
They come out and they just know that they're gonna eat because God provides for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had to reflect and understand that that's how God takes care of us. Even though we had Wawas and Acme's and all kinds of stores and things of that nature.
Right.
But without His direction and without His wisdom and without His guidance, we won't even be able to get there. We won't even be able to see it.
Yeah,
all the blessings that we have just to be able to get up and walk or drive or to get to the store, have the funds in your account, all of these type of things. Even if you got food stamps,
Right.
So, it's blessings, man.
Do you feel like a lot of people take breathing for granted? Like waking up in the morning, do you think
without a doubt? A lot of people take the freedom and the lack of restriction that they have in life for granted. When you confine and somebody say, all right, it's child time. You know what I mean? Then you go to child and they tell you, you only got 3 minutes to eat.
Yeah.
Or like when I was in Camp Hill, you had to soak up in the cell because you had a 3-minute shower.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Wow.
It's been all kinds of things like that.
You in the shower counting the seconds.
Yeah. Then there was times where they get on the loudspeaker. Yeah. It's 5:00. The hot water is off. The temperature of the water is 40 degrees. Mm-hmm. If you want to shower, put your stuff on the gate.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you either gonna be funky or you gonna get in the shower and it's cold.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I've been through all kinds of stuff, man. Like Camp Hill is a place where they had the riots. It's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it was a rough ride there, man.
And was that a maximum security?
Yeah, it was a maximum security prison, and everything was controlled movement. Everything was controlled movement. You didn't go off the block. You didn't go to the library. You didn't go to the yard without a guard and them moving you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so. You know what I mean? Then when I went to the hole there, their hole has been condemned. It was the conditions were so bad, it was just awful, man. Like, I can remember my first experience with being in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was on the top tier and they was bringing a child through in the morning.
Right.
And they had a rule. The rule was you had to be on your gate with your light on, fully dressed in order to get your tray.
Right. And by what time is it?
This is 5 in the morning.
Yeah, so we got to say that because there's a lot of y'all folks out there that might be listening, watching, don't know now. We ain't talking about those 6:30, 7 o'clock wake up. We talking about 5.
Yeah, it's 5 in the morning. So, I wasn't aware of this. I came in that evening, so I wasn't aware of the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't give you no handbook. They don't give you nothing. They just throw you in there. So what they did was they came through, and I heard the cart, and then I jumped up late.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they like, oh, you want to eat? I said, yeah. They said, well, turn your light on. You know what I mean? Be fully dressed.
Right.
Said, all right. So I turned the light on. I started throwing my clothes on. They started walking past. They said, next time you'll have it done before we get here.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And missing a meal when you.
So you ain't get to eat your first.
I ain't get to eat
first
that first
there.
meal. Yeah. That hurt you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your first meal is at 5 in the morning, and your last meal is at 4 in the afternoon. So that time in between is a killer.
Man, you talking about plus 12 hours.
Yeah, you sitting around, you know what I'm saying, with nothing to eat.
Yeah.
And we ain't talking about you got a 4-star meal. Like this is slop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be a real problem. They're gonna give you something called a food loaf.
Yeah.
They chop, they mince everything up and then put it into a loaf. You one piece of
Yeah, that's one of them things. And people need another thing. People need to know about the shit y'all see on TV is actually kind of real. When they see that bullshit on trade, but what they don't show you is how much people get used to it. Not how much we start loving. We just planning days, which day you want, what meal you want, what you trading off the trades. I don't know if y'all do the trades, but we used to do it.
You do a little bit of that, but
the amount of niggas that probably get stabbed for not paying up on the debt. I see the nigga get knocked out one time for a piece of green, called it green bologna. You know, so I see the nigga knocked out for a piece of green bologna over a football bet. I said, yo, this is wild. Like, but it's real. I mean, a lot could happen. And I'm just talking about the county. I ain't even talking about the actual penitentiary.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I got stories for days, man, when it comes to the violence. You know what I mean? The penitentiary. You know, I done seen a joker come shake my hand, spin off of me, and just start stabbing a nigga in his head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, what's up, Worm?
Right.
He's stabbing this bull in his head, and it wasn't even over nothing really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They was all gang members. They was all bloods.
Right.
And he had lost some paperwork.
Right.
So they stabbed him because he lost the paperwork.
Yeah.
They could have killed this bull, man.
Yeah.
About the paperwork.
Yeah. And that's that's sad, man.
But the deepest thing about that whole situation, right, is that even though they stabbed him up, right, the police came and they only took the one that got stabbed and put him in the hole.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. For being involved in the altercation.
Right.
Even though he was a victim of the altercation.
But they knew that he knew who did it, right?
Right.
And they wanted him to tell, and he didn't tell.
Right.
So they actually knew who did it.
Yeah.
But they just wanted him to say who did it so that they can go get him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We already know the rules.
Right. So the thing about it was, which was so crazy, is they end up letting him out the hole after a couple of days because they couldn't charge him when he got stabbed. You can't charge him with nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, they let him out the hole once he seen PRC. And then they put him on the same block with the nigga that stabbed him. You know what I'm saying?
Did anything else come with the situation, or it just kind of faded out?
Well, actually, I was aware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's what this is all about. This is what 20 Life is all about. It's making people aware. You're going to do what you're going to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I just want people to be aware of the consequences. I want you to be aware of what the rules are of the game that you're playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like I made the young boy aware. I said, listen, man, they know who stabbed you.
Right.
That's why they put you over here with
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they want you to get nervous
they want you to retaliate.
Or retaliate, yeah. One of the two, they either want to shake you up or they want you to go get him.
But he was on his way out the door.
Yeah.
He had like a couple months to leave.
Yeah.
He already had got his green sheet. He was paroled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
okay. Well, he was on his way out. So that's why,
So, I was able to talk to him and talk some sense into him.
Because he wanted retaliation.
Yeah. He wanted retaliation, of course.
Of course.
I mean, nigga stab you, you know what I mean? It's a hard thing to swallow. Right? Like, I know a nigga that pulled a sword out on me.
Yeah.
Not a knife, a sword, like the size of that broom handle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, pull that joint out and literally chase me around the day.
He tell you what, Charlie.
Because I was not letting him stab me with that.
Yeah. That's a no-comeback. That's a no-comeback type of move.
I might get take a razor. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, but this boy had, I don't even know what it was. It was like a sword.
The length of a machete.
No, it was like a pole.
A real life.
Like almost like a joist. Like the joust.
Yeah, like something real long. Yeah,
real long. That joint was going to pierce me. I'm like,
shit go all the way through you.
Yeah. But like even that situation, I mean, I felt like, less of a man because I ran.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody like, what you going to do?
You live to fight another
day. I mean? So, but I did go in the cell with him, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, listen, man,
y'all.
I ain't never been no pussy.
Yeah, y'all squared up then.
Excuse my language.
Yeah, no, you good.
You know what I mean? So I ain't never, I ain't on that tight time.
So y'all did square up?
I gave him an opportunity. He didn't want to shoot.
Oh, he didn't want to shoot the,
He didn't want to fight me. That's what the whole point of him pulling the knife off.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
So he was.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to let him know, like, we going to breathe the same air. I'm going to let you know how I feel.
Yeah.
Because I ain't never been no chump.
Yeah.
But, he was from Chester. So, you know, like when we was around Philly dudes and all that,
Right,
and you know they was egging the situation on,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, it's just how it goes sometimes. Geographical stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, man,
Y'all supposed to stick together though.
yeah, that's what
because
I'm saying.
Of,
It was the simple fact was it's not gonna be over in here.
yeah.
We got to go out there.
Yep.
And you know how this thing go out here.
Yep.
You from where I'm from.
Yeah.
You know how it's going down out here. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, like that's why, you know, I was thankful, man, that I was able to, you know, use my wisdom and you know, diffuse the situation and continue to move.
So when it comes to when you're inside, I know a lot of people have different ways to spend their time. How did you make your time go faster when you were in there? What did you do?
So I'm gonna give you the real. You know, I believe in being real all the way 100. You know what I mean? So you know, my name B Worm came from bookworm.
Right.
So you know, I love to read. You know what I mean?
So they still have law libraries and stuff, or
yeah.
is that?
So that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It was dependent upon my situation. Like when I did my 6.5 years, I got through that 6.5 years because I was on a journey spiritually. I was reading a lot of spiritual information,
right.
And I was in the law library constantly. I was my own attorney. I was pro se. I fought all the way to the Supreme Court. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I lost, but I fought all the way to the Pennsylvania
Yeah.
Supreme Court. You know what I mean? And you know, that's why I was having a conversation yesterday with the brother that was here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About, you know, the Fourth Amendment. You know what I mean? You know, stuff to this day, I can't never forget it. U.S. Brady versus Maryland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, just president cases that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Fourth Amendment, you know what I mean? Arizona versus Youngblood.
Yeah.
Like, you know, these is president cases when it comes to Fourth Amendment.
So what is the Fourth Amendment?
The Fourth Amendment is your right to be free from any government intrusion. So therefore, if you're not committing a crime or if you haven't done anything wrong, you have a right to have whatever you want on you.
Right.
You don't you know what I'm saying? If it's concealed on you, if you can have a kilo of dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
you
saying?
ain't
You
do
can
nothing
walk
to be
down the
bothered.
street with it and nobody should be bothered.
Yeah, because you have a right to just walk.
You have a right to be free.
You haven't committed any crimes for people.
You haven't broken any laws, so they don't have any right to intrude upon your freedom.
That's basically profiling, in other words.
Yeah. So you know, like what happens a lot of times, and this is why, like I said, this is what 20 to Life is about: is exposing the false realities.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I got pulled over in Eddystone, so he pulled me over, and he said that my tail light was up. Right. But then he said, "Oh, well, your registration suspended." When he said, "Oh, your tail light out and your registration suspended."
Right.
So why did you run my tag? If my tail light is out, why are you running my tag?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you should have gave me a ticket for my tail light.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Don't run my tag. You looking in the shit.
Yeah.
You
So
know
what
I'm
he
saying?
did was he ended up towing my truck, bro. He towed my truck. I probably got about every bit of $4,000 or $5,000 worth of tools in my truck.
Yeah.
I was on my way to a job.
To work, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to take care of some business, and he towed my truck. I had to pay almost $500 to get my truck out. Yeah, I mean, I had to, now mind you, my registration was suspended. That was on me. You know what I mean? So I had to pay $140 to get that renewed.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm talking about my truck was in the impound probably an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got it out of there pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a fine for a little bit of time, though.
That's how they play.
Yeah,
that's how they play.
That's like a couple of days, bro.
Yeah, no,
that's a few days, bro.
No, that was in total though. It was like 2 something
to get it out.
Okay,
yeah. And then you had to pay the registration. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
And then I had to get some stickers.
All right. So how much time all around throughout your lifetime have you done?
In excess of 20 years. So I missed my whole 30s.
Right.
I got locked up. I was 27. Well, actually, the first time I got locked up, I was 23.
Right.
I did a 2.5 year bid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I came home. I was home for like 3 years.
Right.
Then I went in and did the 6.5.
Right.
So that was from 27 to like 34.
Right.
Right. Then I came home. No, I'm sorry, 35. I came home at 35. Was home for 11 months.
Right.
Went back for 3.5 years.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I hadn't had a birthday
Outside of
since 27 outside. All my
Wow.
birthdays was inside jail.
yeah.
So I hadn't had a birthday on the street from 27 all the way to 40.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did another county stretch that was 2.5. But yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like when I first sat back and reflected upon it, it was like, damn, like you can't get it right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, you know, I was just thinking about, you know, when I was younger, my whole philosophy was I could do this stretch. This stretch ain't about nothing.
Right.
I go ahead. It's the flip side to the
Right.
coin.
Right. That's
You know what I mean? I'm out here getting this.
That's what I was telling somebody. That's what I was
This
telling somebody.
lifestyle.
Yeah, that's what I was telling somebody recently when I said we were talking about people being institutionalized, and one of my partners he was like he didn't believe in it, and I said nah. He had a misunderstanding with what it was. And he was like, nah, I wasn't institutionalized when I used to go back and forth. I said, yeah, that's institutionalized. I said, you're used to it. It's common to you. It's not a.
But see,
it's not really. It doesn't bother you. I said when they say institutionalized, they're not saying you necessarily just always in that jail. I said what they're saying is you're conditioned to not care about it. You just go.
Institutionalization is a wide range of things.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah,
because like you saying, that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Just
But
not.
I was talking to my dad yesterday, and I was explaining to him how I'm institutionalized.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to the cookout.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
they had the picnic table. You know,
Mm-hmm.
these the same type of environments that they got.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like,
I know exactly what you're talking about
you be
too.
in the yard,
Yeah.
and they got the pavilion.
The same. Yeah, I know
right?
exactly what you're
So
talking
when you
about.
on the pavilion, then you sit at a picnic table.
Yeah.
Right? And the style of the picnic table that they use, the cheaper ones.
It's just like the.
You know what I mean? Where it's like that piece of wood holding the stool.
Yeah.
So when you get underneath it, you in there.
Yeah.
So from being in prison and watching how, situations go down at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
We
We never would sit at the picnic table like that. So
Right.
I got accustomed to sitting with my back
Right.
to the picnic table. So I remember I was at the cookout and I sat and I'm like, oh no, I ain't sitting like that.
Yeah.
So I sat with my back.
Good
to
point.
the picnic table.
Very good
You know what I mean?
point.
So
Yeah.
and I know where it came from.
Yeah.
Because of my mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Which
whenever
yeah,
I
you're
go
right.
into a new situation or a new environment,
Yeah.
I'm always scanning. I'm always watching.
So yeah,
You know what I mean?
you're right.
My girl be thinking that I'm looking at other women, but I'm scanning for
the
danger.
area. Yeah, you watching the
Because-
perimeter.
Yeah, everything is suspect in the prison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a killer
Yep.
in the prison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has the potential. You know what I'm saying? You don't know everybody's case. You don't know everybody's situation.
And that's very true too. Like with for the people out there who may not understand what he's saying, yeah, that is definitely. When I say institutionalized, like you said, it's a very broad situation because what he's saying is also a very big form of institutionalization where you come out, you're home now, but you're still carrying yourself as if you're actually in based off of things that are happening that remind you of being in. And then you got some cats that just been there so long, it don't nothing really remind them of nothing. They just really feel like they still they wait like one thing I noticed, and it includes me. Like I said, I started getting in trouble when I was 16. never stopped waking up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. It was always, it stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was fortunate enough to not ever really go away to do the penitentiary time. But unfortunately, on multiples of occasions, I've done, 6 months to a year in the county. So, you know what I'm saying? Which brings me to my next question for you. Where I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. In South Carolina, we often would say, man, please just send me on up the road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because the county was just killing us. So in Pennsylvania, right, which one do y'all hate the most? Do y'all hate the county the most? Or like, are y'all ready to go up the road when you're in the county, or would you prefer the county over the actual penitentiary? And if so, why? Depending upon which one, why?
So me personally, I always was the person who wanted to get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my time. Let me go on up,
right?
So I can get on out,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have time for the county
mm-hmm.
back and forth, the inconsistency,
right?
You know what I mean? Certain things in the state, it's a right, it's a given.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go to the yard. It don't matter. You know what I mean? It don't matter if it's raining. It don't matter
you get to go. Yeah.
You're going to the yard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to lift weights. You're gonna be able to work out.
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to get into a routine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was more structured of state than it is in the county.
The county be the lockdown shit.
Yeah. So the county.
Different
now,
CEO want to treat you different. They don't want to let you. You got that freedom.
Who work in the
Yeah.
day, you know what I mean? Like upstate,
Yeah.
you got certain CEOs that work certain blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So once you on this block, this is the CEO.
That's who you're dealing with. Yeah.
Then you got to deal with this CEO for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And you're gonna deal with this one for 8 hours, and you got to worry about the night shift because you're gonna be down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like my whole thing was always about the structure. It was always about trying to maintain and trying to get through. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was a bidder. I was like, your man. I was the one that shit ain't bothered me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Shawshank.
I remember. Yeah, I remember Shawshank.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
No matter what jail I was in, no matter what the situation, I always get my hands on everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm an electrician.
Yeah.
So as soon as I go into jail, I tell them I'm an electrician. They give me a job working with the ground.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm rolling around the jail. I'm, you know what I mean? I'm trusted more.
Trustee action.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I start meeting different people from different places, and I connect the dots. So you need anything, you come see me. You know what I mean?
I remember I went to the kitchen. My last time get locked up, and like I was talking about that yesterday when I was in the county with all the racists. That was my first time ever having a job in the kitchen. Boy, I didn't want to leave that goddamn kitchen. But I was in there. You could tell I had the extra trays. Boy, you could tell me I wasn't happy. You know what I'm saying? But that was my first time ever having that experience.
That's the thing, right? So like you saw that story, right? And it made me reflect on the fact that we had Aryan Nation boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But being as though we was up north, it wasn't as many. It wasn't as many who showed their face. Right. So they would have little factions. It'd be like maybe 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they was outnumbered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it was a little different. Yeah.
So it was a different.
Yeah. In the
dynamic.
South, they definitely. In the South, they don't have a problem showing their face at all.
I'm talking about the yard would be segregated. The yard would be, you have the punks over here.
Yeah.
You had the Latin Kings over here.
Yeah.
You got the Bloods over here, the Crips over here.
Yeah. But see, that's how it is. Like where I'm from, that's how it is with the county situation. Like starting from the county, because like y'all was saying, y'all was talking about, they be like, where you want your body to go? Yeah. Like in the South, they always ask you what color you rocking. Like what's your color? Yeah. And I remember not wanting to. I didn't. Because I was already on the books at one point. So I didn't, and I had been going from this particular place for a long time, and I ended up going back to that place and once again went to jail while I was there. So they remembered the situation, but I didn't want to claim it when I got back. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because I didn't want them to, I didn't want it to go back on the books, because once it went on there, it was going to be on there. Yeah. But I didn't want to not say it, because they might put me in the wrong space, right, and they put me in the wrong space. And I never forget when they put me in the space. They tried to be slick, right? And they sent me upstairs. For some reason, this particular CEO, just like you said, this particular CEO was sending everybody where they shouldn't be. Yeah. So I was already in one particular dorm of another color. You know what I'm saying? And the same dorm had some Aryan people in it. You know what I'm saying? So the CO was like, Kelly go to, you know what I'm saying, sell such and such. So I went up there. Before he popped the door, I see straight just tattoos on bald heads up in that bitch, like 4 of them. I said, nah, I ain't going in there. He told me, what, you scared? I said, nah, motherfucker, I'm smart.
Yeah.
So then he tried to be slick and he put me in an op cell.
Yeah.
But the op cell he put me in was supposed to be like a crazy dude, right? He was kind of crazy. But they didn't realize I kind of beat him on the crazy. You know what I'm saying? So they ended up moving him. You know what I'm saying? They ended up moving. I mean, because it really wasn't no beef, but me and Buddy just, you know, we was already on opposite sides. So, and they thought I was going to be more nervous than him because I didn't want to go to this. But it was like, nah, I didn't go up there because I was outnumbered. See, down here, I'm not. I'll go in that one because you just simply sending me in a cell with an op. But it's op versus op. It's not 3 of them in there.
Yeah.
Up here, y'all trying to put me in there where I already know this is almost a no-win. I can fight all day long, but this is clearly going to be a no-win situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you really gotta watch yourself when you be in there, no matter where you at, whether you be county or penitentiary. Like you said, it's open season once you walk in because, you know, you might get lucky. Sometimes you got the people to get lucky. They go in there and all they people there, like your whole squad.
I think that was the problem when I first encountered prison.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say jail because it was the county.
Yeah.
So when I first went to jail, you know, I had got locked up for maybe 2 cell charges of weed, maybe 7 bags of weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They took me to the jail, you know, the little district, and it was like, you know, how old are you? This, that, third.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm naive. I don't know no better. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 18. I'm thinking they're gonna let me out. So I tell them I'm 18. They take me straight to the jail.
Yeah.
So when they take me to the jail, you know what I mean? Now I'm in the jail and I'm running into all the old heads from around the way. And, what you doing in here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, they embraced me, looked out for me. I did 7 days that time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a hard experience.
Right.
It was nothing for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, it just was like a rite of passage.
That's what started your institutional. Yeah.
But you was talking about the crazy boy, made me think about when I got locked up in Jersey. So I got locked up in Jersey, right, for traffic tickets. And they took me to the district. And when they took me to the district, I was drunk. They got me for open container, you know what I mean? And I had some traffic tickets I ain't paid, so they took me down for that.
Yeah.
So, long story short, they take me in the district, and I'm coming in the district, and the cop bringing me back to the holding cell, right?
Right.
And it's a dude hanging from the cell. So rigor mortis is setting in.
Right.
His legs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Stiff.
So he getting stiff, you feel me?
Yeah.
So the cop starts trying to grab him and trying to pull him down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the other cop like, get him out of here, get him out of here.
Yeah. So you rolling up scenes.
So they speedballed me straight to the county jail. Now, mind you, I'm in Selma County.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they take me to Selma County jail. So, you know what I mean? I ain't never been locked up over here. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Plus I'm drunk. I'm high, drunk, everything.
Different vibe.
Right. So they take me, go right in there. You know how when you first get in process, they ask you all these questions. Mm-hmm. So I'm so drunk, I'm passing in and out. I'm inebriated. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck I tell them.
Yeah.
All I know is they take me from there. They tell me, they hand me an orange jumpsuit and some orange skippies. Tell me put them on.
Yeah.
Right? Walk me through another door. Tell me take everything off they just gave me.
Yeah.
So like, what? So I take everything off, right?
Yeah.
So I go to another spot. They give me these vests, right? Like these like padded vests.
Right.
Right. So I'm like,
what the hell going on?
Yeah. So they like you don't have no they like you don't have no won't have no more blankets, so take another vest. So they give me 2 vests. Right?
Yeah.
So then they put me in a dorm with two other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And one boy, he crazy. Now, mind you, we all in there with these vests on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dick and balls out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They got that naked in some vests.
Yeah, like we just in this joint. And
Yeah.
man, he must have been a Vietnam vet or something.
Yeah.
He talking about Charlie and he going
Yeah.
there, you know what I'm saying? So now I get in character.
Yeah.
I'm really scared.
Yeah.
Keeping it
Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
scared, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I'm still in my early 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm probably like 26. So I'm like, old head probably like 40 something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he a little solid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? At that time I was still young Swiggers now. I was
Yeah.
still skinny.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at him, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he started talking crazy. Then I started talking crazy. I said, hey, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Jump
So I
right
started
into
playing
it.
the role, you know what I'm saying? Like, can't wait to get out that joint, man. They got me, they bailed me out though that next morning, man.
Sure.
That was an experience and a half, man. Just
Yeah.
being incarcerated in a place where you don't know nobody.
Yeah, so that's what I was telling y'all yesterday about that. So we is about to go to commercial, man, and when we come back, we gonna close this thing out because we gotta save y'all some more good stuff for another day. So we gonna get back to it. Let's pay some bills real quick. Play about 1 or 2 songs, man, and we gonna come on back in and, you know, finish it on up. Chill.